Hi everyone, let's create a step-by-step actual versus budget analysis using Power Query and PowerPivot. Let me show you first the final outcome. So we have these pivots where we analyze actual versus budget on categories. The PowerPivot window is here where we see that we imported 5 tables. We have here the diagram. We have two transactional tables, sales and budget, and we link them with the dimensional tables. And we will also create some measures that we will be using here. Okay, last year we will use a timeline. Okay, so this is the final outcome where we use two transactional tables, and I will show you some interesting techniques in Power Query also. Let's get started. First, let me show you the tables. So this is the first transactional tables with the actual sales of 2018 and 2019. So here we have the sales amount, product key, customer key, and the order date key. Then we have the budget sales in the same format, where we have the budget sales amount. And then the calendar table, like in every good data model, the customer table, and the product table. So we start from a new Excel blank sheet. We go to data and start importing the files from Excel workbook. Okay. First we import the actual transactional table. We have sheet 1 and go to transform data. The Power Query window will open. And now what we have to do, I want to rename here the query. So let's call it sales 2018-2019. Okay, and now we have a problem. The date key, order date key, the date is in the form of a key. Okay, so this is not a date and we will have some problems. So what we can do, how we transform this, which you see it's 1, 2, 3, it's a number format, how we transform it into a date. So we will use a clever options in Power Query which has an AI feature, column from examples. So from selection, we have selected the order date key, and now we tell Power Query what we want to do. So this is the date, okay? It's 2 July 2018. So we will write the date in US format 07/02/2018. Okay, and then the next Power Query has needs at least two in order to understand what is the sense of the example. Now you have here 01 December 2018, so 12/01 2018, and now you see that Power Query understood what you want to do. So here, for example, it's 30 November 2019. It's okay. Let's change the name, order date, and press OK. Okay. So now we see that every column is already with the correct type. Otherwise, we will have selected the columns and go to transform and press detect data type. Okay, but already Power Query understood. Okay, now what we want to do, close and load, and we don't load because it will appear in an Excel file. We just want to create a connection to the file. So we go to only create connection, okay, instead of table, only create connection, and add this data to the data model so we can use it in the data model in PowerPivot. Okay, and now instead of putting the data here, if we have chosen table, it is only here as a query and connection. Then we go to the budget file, the second transactional file. Okay, transform data. The same thing we want to do here. So the name is budget. Okay, we don't have to change here the name. So now we want to add column. So we select the order date key, column from example from selection. Okay, and we go here, and what we have here, it's 08 April 2019. So 04 08 2019. The next one, it's 23 April 04 23 2019. So now it is correct. Let's just check this, 30 November 2019. So Power Query deducted the correct date. So order date. Okay. The rest of the columns we see that have the correct type. We just load it to the data model. So only create connection, add this data to the data model. Okay, we have it here. Next, let's import also the rest of the file, the calendar date. Okay, it's the calendar table, transform data. So here everything is okay. We don't have to do any transformation. Just load it to the data model, only create connection. And now two more files. The customer. Okay, transform data. Let's see if we have to do any transformation. So everything is okay. The data type are okay. Only create connection, add this to the data model. And the last one, the product table. Data from file, product, query 1, transform data. Here we will only have to change the name of the query, product, because here it is the name where we will see it in a PowerPivot window. Otherwise, it will remain with the name query. Okay, everything else is okay. Only create connection, add this data to the data model. So this is the part of importing with Power Query and making some transformation if it is the case. Now, the thing that I want to show you, we go back to the sales query. The order date you see that is not recognized as a date. So what we have to do here, we press here ABC using Locale, and data type we say is date, and it's the United States. Okay, where we have first the month, then the day and year. Otherwise, if we want day, month, year, we choose here from Locale English UK. Okay, now we have US, and now you see that it's a date format is the correct one. Close and load. And the same we will do for budget. Okay, we click right, edit, and go to the last column, order date. We see that it is not recognized using Locale. So date, and now it is correct. Close and load. Now we have finished the import part, and now we open the PowerPivot window, the data model from here, manage, and we see that we have all our tables. We go to the diagram and we create the relationships. It's a good practice to put them here in the middle and upside to put the dimension table to see very clearly the relationships. Okay, so first sales with calendar. We have the order date, we link it to the date. We have this error. And now it's okay. I had another PowerPivot window open from another file. Then customer key to customer key, product key to product key. And now the idea to have these two transactional table in the same model, you have to link the second table. So order date, customer key, and product key. So now we have them in our model. Now we go to data view and start to create some measures. First of all, we want to create the total sales measure. So we directly write here, okay, total sales, and you put a column and equal in Power Pivot in Excel. In Power BI, you put just equal. So we have a simple sum of, so we go to the sales, okay, sum of sales amount. And we have this, we can change the type decimal, okay. So we have total sales, then we want sales last year, sales last year, and we will use the calculate function. So calculate. First, we put the measure that we calculated, total sales, and then we use the time intelligence function, same period last year. Okay, and this needs the calendar table date column. Okay, close. Okay, decimal number. Let's correct it. Sales. Okay, in this context, it has the same value, but in the pivot table, it will take, in function of the filter, it will take the correct value. And then we go to the budget, because every measure, if it is related to a table, you go to its table in order to be organized and not lose track of the measures. So here we can say budget sales, and the simple sum budget sales amount. Okay, and we will make another measure, the variation, actual versus budget. So we call it actual versus budget equal. We will use the function divide, and first we put actual, total sales, and then budget sales. Okay, minus 1. The function divide is good that it protects from dividing with 0. You don't get an error. Okay, so the format percent. So now we go back to the file and start making the pivots for the actual versus budget analysis. We go to insert pivot table from data model, existing worksheet. Okay, so now what we can do, we can put here the year. Now we can create another pivot table, and let's say like this. Let's put here on rows the category, and then we put the total sales. That will make sense depending on the filter that will put it immediately. Then last year sales, okay, and budget sales, and actual versus budget. Okay, and now we insert a timeline. So we choose the date column from the calendar table. Okay, we go to the year level and we want 2019. Okay, so we see that in 2019 total sales is this, last year's sales is this, and the budget sales. This is another way of analyzing. And then we can make a third table where we put the year and the month. But let's put the month name to show you how we can order the month name, because now it is alphabetical that we don't want. Okay, and then we put the actual sales. Okay, then last year's sales, and then we can put also the budget. You see, the last year's sales is correct. It takes even the month at every level, the year, the month from the last year. So now what we want to do is to arrange um, arrange calendaristically the name of the month. So how we do it, we go to the pivot table window this time, calendar table, we select the month name, and then we have here sort by column, and we say sort by column the month name, by column month, and month is numeric. Okay, and now it will be correct. Now you see we have it from January. So this is a simplified model of using Power Query and Power Pivot in order to analyze sales, actual versus budget, with two transactional tables. I hope you found it useful. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.